One day when we're just working, I'm at my work, I'm allowed to listen to talks and lectures just while I work. And one of the talks that I was listening to was one given by Father Chad Ripperger on how to be a man. And it talked about living the life as a husband and as a father in today's world. What he was talking about was, being a saint for your future spouse and for your kids, and that's what I really wanted. So it gave me a real purpose in life to go out and to become a saint for my future spouse and for my future kids. A little bit after that, I had the opportunity to meet with a priest who's actually my parish priest, and I asked him to be my spiritual director. And he, on the very first meeting, I was kind of under the assumption we were going to talk about the vocation of marriage. What are the next steps? How do I approach this? And he said, looking at your life that you're living, I had been going to the Adoration Chapel every day. I'd been going to Mass, praying the Rosary, doing a ton of spiritual reading. And he said, well, you know what? You can pursue the religious, or you can pursue the married life if that's what you feel called to, but I'd really strongly recommend that you look into the religious life. And at that time, around that time, I had had some inclinations of an attraction towards the priesthood, not necessarily towards parish ministry or the monastic life in general, but towards the offering of the sacrifice of the Mass. But what he recognized in me was the vocation to the monastic life, which I was not able to see in myself. So he recommended to me 4 religious orders: the Carmelites, the Trappists, the Carthusians, and the Camaldolese. I was pretty familiar with the Carmelites. I love St. Teresa of Avila, St. John of the Cross, St. Therese of Lisieux, but it just didn't quite feel right. The Trappists didn't quite feel right. The Camaldolese just didn't quite feel right. But when I started looking at the Carthusians, which I had never heard of, I immediately fell in love with it. But their charism is union with God through silence and through solitude. They are a community of it's a hermetical life, but in a communal sense. And there was no doubt in my mind that this is really what God was calling me to. So once I found out about the Carthusians, I reached out to them and I asked if I could come on a vocational retreat, and they allowed me to come out for a month. It was really the order of life that really attracted me. That's what I had an attraction for in the world, and just being able to live that in a monastic setting was awesome. And it was really the silence, and it was the solitude and the opportunity to spend time learning about God, to grow in union with God through prayer and through intellectual study.